We got 6 or 7 bowl games on the card, including the FCS playoffs this week as well. Brad, let's go to the LA Bowl on Sunday night, and this total has been hit today. We lock in the contest lines at Circa here at noon on Friday. I played this, you played this, a couple others did as well. UCLA, Boise State under 48.
Yeah, let's start with the Boise State side of things. Obviously down to a third-string true freshman quarterback, making his first start, has hardly any experience whatsoever as far as the snap count goes. So I got to think they're going to be conservative, especially when you got that 1-2 punch at running back in Genti and Helani. So there's that side of the ball. On the other side of the ball, UCLA's offense has struggled down the stretch. But defensively, I look for UCLA to have some success against Boise State's run game because UCLA's in the top 5 in rush defense, so under for me.
C.J. Tiller is going to be the quarterback for Boise State, and his next pass will be his first in college. He's taken 2 snaps all season, and you got to think this game's going to stay mostly on the ground. And we've seen the total drop. What did you say? You seeing 46.5 out there?
I saw 46.5 offshore.
All right, UCLA Boise under the first play for Brad Powers. Now you've got 2 plays on this game, Cal and Texas Tech, and this is the Independence Bowl in Shreveport on Saturday night. And let's see, we're going to go Texas Tech -3 and over the total of 58. That's your best bet over the total.
Yeah, so I'm taking advantage of a little bit of stale lines here. We're going to lay the 3, and especially when you look at a key number 3, and you're giving me a half point because the market's pretty much painted 3.5 right now, and plus I get a half point if it pushes. So kind of contest strategy 101 there. Plus, Texas Tech, I think generally speaking, a little bit underrated. Keep in mind they were playing with the third-string quarterback a couple games. Morton, the backup, who's going to play, was not 100% for a majority of the games this year. So I kind of like them in that regard. As far as the best bet on the over,
I misspoke there too. The contest total is 56. So you played over 56, and now the total's up to 58.
Yeah, there's strategy there as well. But I also liked it anyways. Before it, I already had bet it earlier this week. I was a little surprised it got bet down. Weather was going to be a factor. It's going to be cold. Ask Tim Murray. I think he's on the sidelines for that one. He better pack up. But no wind, no rain. And what I do see is a couple of teams that run a lot of tempo, top 15 in the country as far as plays per minute. So let's go over the total.
All right, that's your best bet. Cal, Texas Tech over 56, and he laid 3 with the Red Raiders. Let's go to the game on Monday, the famous Toastery Bowl. Old Dominion, this is another screen mover today. The Monarchs -2.5 at noon. Right now it's -3.5. You laid the 2.5 with Old Dominion against Western Kentucky.
Yeah, I'm hearing whispers. Several starters might be out for Western Kentucky. We know 5 or 6 are out, including on the offensive line, 3 of the starters on the offensive line. So you got a cluster opt-out situation there. Old Dominion, in my opinion, is excited to be here. They scored on the final play of the regular season to get the bowl eligibility. Western Kentucky was a Conference USA champ. They can't be too excited about playing on a Monday afternoon in bowl season. I'll be here to tell you the reason I think it blew through 3. I'm hearing more and more whispers that Reed, the starting quarterback for Western Kentucky, might not play.
All right, that would definitely cause a line move there, and it's moved a point today up to Old Dominion from 2.5 to 3.5. What we got you here, I want to get your quick thoughts on some other bowl games, even though you didn't play them in the contest here. Jacksonville State and Louisiana. That's the New Orleans Bowl with Jacksonville State a 2.5-point favorite.
I bet Louisiana in this one, but I needed 3 in order to play it in the contest because that's where I bet it. Obviously Jacksonville State storybook season, first bowl game in school history. They're going to be excited. I just think there's a disparity as far as strength of schedule here between what the Sun Belt is and Conference USA is. You're talking about a touchdown per game as far as an average team power rating. So I like the fact that Louisiana's been there, done that. Probably can handle New Orleans, the city, a little bit better than Jacksonville State.
All right, the Avocados from Mexico Cure Bowl. Miami was catching 7 here at Circle last night. Now the number 6.5. Appalachian State the favorite.
Yeah, I think the most consistent unit that I trust the most is Miami's defense, so I'm going to lean with the dog here. I especially lean with the dog because the total continues to get bet down. Really bad weather, 15-plus mile-per-hour winds, heavy rain on a grass field, like the under as well.
Okay, how about the New Mexico Bowl? Diego Pavia, appears he's going to be a quarterback for the Aggies. New Mexico State up to a 3.5-point favorite against Fresno State.
Yeah, I think New Mexico State's a side here. I mean, I trust them on a consistent game-in and game-out basis all year long, but I don't like the price at 3.5, to be honest with you, so it'd be more of a pizza bet variety. I also lean over the total.
Similar thoughts on that game. I like the New Mexico State side, but it's up over 3, and I don't really want to lay that number at this point. How about the Myrtle Beach Bowl? And that's Georgia Southern, Ohio, and the Bobcats catching 3.
So I made a bad bet at the start of bowl season. I bet Ohio. I thought Ohio was going to be the right side in this game. I didn't like how Georgia Southern closed out the season. Ohio did really good defensively. I did not expect Curtis Rourke and a bunch of starters on offense to opt out, but that's been the case here. They're down 5 starters on offense, so I played back a little bit Georgia Southern. I think they're the right side here, but nothing too major. I do think an early start time with the offense for Ohio compromised. I think unders to play at the current numbers.
All right, the Tuesday and Thursday bowls were eligible for this contest this week, all the way through next Thursday, but nobody in the contest played them tonight, and that's UTSA Marshall and the Frisco Bowl, and that is the Roadrunners as 12-point favorites. And in the Boca Raton Bowl, Syracuse, South Florida, and Orange favored by 3. Did you play anything, or might you play anything in those 2 bowls?
No, nothing as far as the UTSA Marshall game. We did see money come in on Marshall today. I kind of agree with that because they're starting to get on the expensive side on UTSA. But, man, I mean, Marshall's down to a backup quarterback. UTSA is trying to win their first bowl game in school history. I think it's important for them. And the other game, I did play the over. I think Syracuse, the fact that Schrader's healthy should help them. And South Florida runs a ton of tempo. So it seems like a high total. I did play over, though.
Well, Syracuse, South Florida total up from 57.5 to 61. How about the FCS playoffs? And you seemed surprised last week that Randy McKay and a couple others were playing the FCS in the contest. You didn't know these games were eligible. I think you were on a flight last week.
I was.
North Dakota State, Montana is a FCS game on Saturday.
Yeah,
Any thoughts on that or no?
I'm waiting for a 3 to show, possibly on North Dakota State. I know a lot of people are like, oh, the locker room's disappointed as far as Ent's taking the job for USC. Mm-hmm. I think Montana's a little fraudulent.